At London Financial Studies, we focus exclusively on capital markets. Our programs offer practical learning to professionals from all over the world.
And I think this is a good subject. This is convexity, which anybody in the bond and swap world recognizes as being a statement about the slight non-linearity of bond prices or swap prices, and anybody from the options world recognizes as being another word for gamma, which is the P&L you make from realized vol, effectively. And there's an interesting RV trade, which is also a pet subject of mine, where the option story, the gamma story, and the convexity of long-dated bonds and swaps actually come together in a very elegant way with a mildly surprising result. And that is convexity. Convexity is, as a general theme, will links all these different aspects of both delta one product, where you wouldn't think there was any volatility risk, but you will know better in half an hour, and the options world, where we all know there's volatility risk, and the word convexity changed its name, but it comes to the same thing. Anyway, so I'm going to take you on a little tour of what convexity is and what it means, and we're going to finish with an actual fairly detailed drill down into a well-known relative value trade in the rates world called the butterfly, and see how convexity emerges in the delta one world to essentially mimic what we see in the options world. So let's kick off by talking about what people mean by convexity, because it's a much abused word. There's sort of a truism, sort of half a joke, half true, that if you're in an interview, you know, if your answer to every question is convexity, you probably get the job, because it's mostly right. But people use convexity in many ways. And when I first wrote this slide here, I had like 7 bullet points, 7 different ways that people use the word convexity and in the financial markets. But I've condensed it down to 3 seemingly different, but actually related, obviously related, concepts. So when people talk about convexity of a product, they normally refer to the non-linearity of the price function, which is a fancy way of saying that as the underlying moves around, the price of the derivative moves in a non-linear way. And we're very familiar with this. There is a swaption, that's a receiver's swaption. But if you want to think of it as being a put option on Tesla or dollar put yen call or whatever background you come from, that's fine. It's all the same picture. The blue line is the price function, what the value of the derivative is doing as the underlying moves around. In this case, the underlying is the yield curve, and the blue line is the price of a 1-year, 5-year receivers. And as you can see, it's convex. It is convex for a very obvious reason, because the payoff function, which is just the price function at expiry, has got a discontinuity. Because if you think about how an option is defined, there's a max function in there. And anytime you have discontinuities, you get hockey stick diagrams like the red line. And therefore, the price function at any time prior to expiry will sit on that curved line. And the fact that curved line is convex is the obvious reason why we call this convexity. So convexity can be thought of as the curvature of the price function, or if you prefer, you can think of convexity, which also is directly deducible from this picture, as being the asymmetry of the response of a derivative to the underlying.